долгий и сложный процесс, требующий многих усилий.
Another episode in Guts and Blackpowder. We're starting a brand new series on Guts and Blackpowder, just like for TDS, the top 5 things that don't make sense in Guts and Blackpowder. Now, quite honestly, this game is very historically accurate, so it was kind of a little bit tricky to find anything that didn't make sense, but I have 5 things in here that don't make sense about Guts and Blackpowder.
Number 5.
At the lowest spots, number 5 spot we have is the Sapper, more or less his building mechanics. So as we all know, Sapper is the only character in this game to actually build fucking anything, aka being able to place down fortifications to help you and your team out. However, some of these things are a bit explainable, and then just the other ones is like, how is that even possible? So first things first is his wall that he can pretty much just build on the spot. Then he has the wooden spikes, and then just these weird spiky things on the balls. First question and foremost is, where the hell did he get all of this equipment from? Sure, the hammer is explainable since he literally just has it like on his belt or something like that, but how did he get these tons of piles of wood just to be able to build these walls? And also, I'm pretty sure these broken pieces of wood shouldn't be fixed by a hammer, but probably switching them out for brand new, logs of wood. And also foremost, how would you exactly be planting these wooden spikes in the ground and have them stay there? Especially when you're planting them like on legit concrete. Like, how is that even fucking possible? Unless the man just literally drilled it into the ground somehow, that doesn't really seem that much possible. Now, on the dirt or whatever is explainable because obviously you can't do that. Quite honestly, having all of this type of equipment, shouldn't that make him much slower, like, with that armor on? But instead, he is just as fast as anyone else and can somehow be able to repair any of this stuff with the power of his hammer.
Number 30.
Number 4 spot we have is the infinite ammo concept. So as we all know, the air rifle is currently the only weapon in this game that requires ammo to actually purchase. But as we all know, as long as you don't actually completely get rid of the canister and just go entire match without actually changing canister, you pretty much don't have to purchase any ammo. However, something else that doesn't make sense is how come every other weapon in this game doesn't require ammo to actually purchase as well? As we all know, we need black powder in order to actually fire these weapons with, the projectiles in them. But for some reason, our black powder pouch is completely just filled up with black powder 24/7. Maybe our guys have just tons of black powder, maybe they're sharing it with one another or something, but how come we never have to ever worry about ammo for any of these other weapons? However, for air canister, we actually do have to worry about ammo for that thing. Now, for some weapons that only fire like one shot, this is pretty self-explanatory, like, oh, you're not using that much ammo, so in contrast, you don't need to actually have that much black powder to use up. But for weapons like, for an example, the knocgun, which have literally 7 barrels, I find that kind of hard to believe, especially how you're going to be shooting literally 7 shots per shot as long as you continuously fill them up, every single barrel. So quite honestly, you would just be burning out of ammo with the knocgun. And then there's some also other guns, for an example, for the officer, aka commander, and or the soldier, who have these double-barreled weapons that could, fire 2 shots. So in reality, you would be using up more ammo, but for some reason our black powder pouches just have plenty of black powder to constantly refill ammo for some reason. And I don't know why they wouldn't just add like, those like ammo stations, kind of like in Left 4 Dead 2, where every now and again when you reach a new area, there will be a bunch of ammo to refill. That would actually be kind of cool, but still, it's a bit weird how you have tons of ammo for all the other weapons. However, for your air rifle, you need to be very precarious on how you use it.
Number 7.
Okay, this is something that I just don't understand whatsoever. On the map Cobb, you get to that final point in the map where you essentially have to kill all of the zombie prisoners, and you have to open up the cage and pretty much just kill like over 300 zombies that just come barreling up the staircase to kill you. But for some reason, you have to do that, and I don't know, just not leave them locked down there. I don't know why specifically you have to open it up. You could have just left them to rot down there. We could have just left the door locked, probably piled some stuff on it to make sure that even if the slight chance the gate, I don't know, gets broken down or something, we still have lots of things to actually keep them down there. Maybe it's because we're gonna renovate the things down there. I don't really know how we're gonna do that, especially when it's filled up with water, blood, and, corpses. I don't really know what we could actually be doing down there. It would have been a much better and definitely smarter idea to just leave them locked down there and probably wait for for probably like, I don't know, a week or something like that, for all of them to essentially rot and die. So that way we could just go down there, remove all the corpses. We could have literally lost no one dead, but instead we have to actually do this the extremely stupid and rough way by essentially killing them all when we could just be leaving them locked down there. That part just doesn't make sense at all to me.
Number 16.
This was bound to happen eventually, but this is the bomb. Quite honestly, he is very infamous in the community for basically causing a ton of carnage, such as, well, killing your teammates right next to it since you just shot it and the bomber just killed them, or maybe, I don't know, the bomber managed to insta-kill you or just drain your health drastically because, I don't know, you were just playing dumb there or something like that. But something that just doesn't make sense whatsoever about this guy, why can't you put out the barrel with the water bucket, you know? He literally has a torch and he's lighting the barrel with the torch to literally make all of it explode. How come you can't just put out the fire or barrel with your water thing? That would have completely countered this guy. That would actually be kind of interesting, kind of a cool way to actually like counter this guy, how you can actually put out the entire fire or barrel by just watering it. That would have solved everything. Second foremost is, how come it doesn't blow instantly when he lights it? Instead, he gives you a few precious seconds to get out of range. However, on the Leipzig map or whatever, when the guy lights his barrel, it kills him instantly, while this guy on the other end, he lights it and it gives him precious seconds to actually run to you and kill you, but doesn't insta-kill him for some reason right away. And another thing is, how come this guy actually comes out of the ground with a barrel full of explosives, but most and foremost, a torch literally lit on fire? Like, how is that even possible? But I don't think it's really that possible to just come out of the ground with already a lit torch and a barrel of explosives ready at your disposal.
Number 1.
Check this out.
Peter, the horse is here.
And number one spot, the thing that doesn't make sense the most in Guts and Blackpowder is the priest. Now, I know this is something that a lot of you guys are already thinking about as well, because the priest is, let's just say, doesn't really make too much sense. So I remember I played a game or a server a long while ago where I asked about how it was possible a priest was able to do any of this stuff, you know, using his crucifix to temporarily stun zombies, being able to get rid of the virus for some reason in your nearby teammates' blood. And this guy basically said how these guys were like, I don't know, like some demonic thing sent from hell or something like that. But if that's the case, shouldn't we all have crosses, you know, just like that accessory we have? Shouldn't we be immune to it? But aside from the zombies, how come the priest is able to use his crucifix and just temporarily stun all these nearby zombies? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say that this is the zombie thing where these guys are demons or whatever. And if that is the case, what does it really matter if we use guns or stuff like that against them? Why can't we just use crucifixes all the time against these guys? And foremost, what if this isn't anything about religion and is just for some reason a priest with the crucifix can actually do this to literally undead that isn't anything related to heaven or hell in it of itself? That part just doesn't make sense whatsoever, especially how you can literally cure any nearby teammates' blood and bodies from the potential infection for some reason. And also, once and foremost, why does the priest have a literal wooden dagger when he could just have a fucking plastic knife?